This episode brought to you not by any mental health.
We're going to call this Seth's bitching session about realtors and social media. Real estate agents are in the top 5 least trusted jobs.
You don't try, you do. Because if you don't, you sink.
I would love to see 50% of agents leave this business. There's no business advantage to going viral at all.
Now we need to start the episode so that we can actually keep going. Okay.
Welcome to Millennia. I'll take this one. I'll take this intro.
Hi.
All right.
How did we get here?
We got here. So just so you're aware, we just spent, let me look, about 8 minutes of wallowing in our ADD, trying to remember what the hell we were going to talk about. And then we said, you know what?
Because guess what? It's the one time we didn't put it down.
Yeah, we didn't put it down on
paper.
We thought we had an amazing idea.
And that there's no way this idea is going to go anywhere.
And then it went bye-bye. Trying to figure out what the hell.
And just replace it.
And then we just replaced it. So I'm going to talk about something, and I think you've got a lot of comments on it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually thinking, I want to hear from everybody out there about this as well, which is how, and I remember what it is.
What is it?
Why realtors are the least trusted.
Oh, that's the one.
That's it. Look at that.
Do we start over?
No. Let's just keep recording.
Wait. Keep talking. I'm writing it down. I don't even care if this is in the episode or not. I am writing down our next episode.
Okay.
Right now.
I think we're going to be talking about both now.
Oh, we're doing both?
Yeah, I think because it's all going to roll in.
I guess it does go in together.
It's all going to roll in. Okay, so let's talk about this.
This might be one of the more chaotic. This episode brought to you not by any mental health.
Any Adderall or Ritalin by any stretch. No, so a lot of people don't realize that real estate agents are in the top 5 least trusted jobs, occupations in the country.
Do you know what the other 4 are?
Yeah.
Wait, can I guess them? That was where I was going with this. Okay. Car salesman.
Yes.
It would put us at number 2.
Okay.
I don't know the other 3.
Okay. Lawyers?
I would want to trust a lawyer. I'm actually surprised at that. Are we above or below lawyer?
You got to think about like ambulance chaser, personal injury, and you have to think about a lot of people who've been on the other side of who've lost legal battles. They don't trust lawyers either. Financial planners, I think, are in there. And I think it was some kind of doctor. It wasn't like just doctors, but it was I think it was like some kind of surgeon or something like that.
Again,
back
one
surgeon,
that I would
maybe.
want to trust.
It was back surgeon.
Especially one I'd want to trust.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize this, but real estate agents are one of the least trusted industries or occupations in the country. And why do you think that is? I have a few theories.
So there is that everybody thinks that we're in it just for the money. If that's the case, can't wait to prove you wrong. We have other fees and have to pay our insurances. There's so many other things that our commissions go to than in our pockets than you would think. But anyway, yeah, that we just have commission breath and that we don't really care and we're only in it for the money. Mm-hmm. The shit that's put out on the internet and that all we do is like show houses and write things on paper.
Yeah.
And that we're overcompensated. Again, it goes back to money.
Yeah, I'd say value.
Okay.
Value.
Oh, and that I don't know if other people know this, but that the bar is just so low. Like everybody, like if somebody decides to like not be a nurse anymore, not be a teacher anymore, I'm going to try real estate instead. Yeah. First of all, where you go wrong, number 1 is I want to try it. You don't try, you do. Because if you don't, you sink.
Yeah.
But they think that anybody can do it. So like, why not?
Well, you don't hear anyone say, I'm going to try my hand at being a lawyer. I'm going to try my hand at being an accountant. I'm going to try my hand at being this. But real estate it has such a low bar of entry that I think that a lot of people don't really respect it to begin with. A big problem, I think, in our industry, and any broker or any big company is going to tell you this, is that we do a really bad job of telling people what we do all day, every day. Mm-hmm. I think HGTV is taking the ball and run with it too, where they make it seem like we're just hanging out and just showing property and everything like that. But those shows never.
There's shows like Selling Sunset, which is like
But not even Selling Sunset. I think even Flip This House or Upsizers or whatever, all those other shows, it just.
Love it or list it.
Yeah, it doesn't actually encapsulate what the day of a life of a realtor is. And I think that's one, I think that's a big reason why people get in and then they get out, because they have an incomplete understanding of what the job actually is. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that real estate agents do a very good job of explaining their value and like what they're doing all day, every day. The showing of the house and like going to settlement and like doing all that, a very small part of what we do. We spend a lot of time on the phone. We spend a lot of time with paperwork. We spend a lot of time
Oh,
paying
how many
fees.
times have I gotten so frustrated at, not that an offer isn't accepted, but like that I go through all of the work of, because listen, things that you don't understand is when I'm going to write up an offer, my job isn't starting at when I sit down on my computer. It's from when I get back into my car or even before I get into my car and calling that listing agent and making that listing agent my best friend.
Besties.
And it is building the relationship. Like I've already built a relationship with you, but to get your offer accepted, I am becoming the best of friends with that listing agent to make them want to pick our offer and selling them on working with me and knowing that it's going to be a smooth transaction and that like we're going to hold hands and kumbaya our way through this, and selling them on the fact that you deserve this house and how much you want it. So like before I even put anything on that paper, I have been on my phone and have had that to my head so many times. And on top of talking to that listing agent, making them my new bestie over the course of an hour, I'm then talking to the lenders to make sure that they're getting the numbers over to you and making sure that we're coming up with something that's going to make this realistic so that you can afford it. And then
That's even before you even find a house you want. I mean,
well, yeah, but that's I always confirm.
How much? No, but how much freaking work is there before that? It's the going
I'm
out.
talking
It's
just
the
day of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But all the time, especially on buyers, but even listings. Like I've been over to my buddy's house in King of Prussia, I don't know, 5 times. I haven't been paid yet, but I've been counseling him and advising him on what to do, what not to do. He wants me to come by, take a look. I'm meeting contractors, like that kind of thing. And by the way, we're not complaining. This is the job. But the other side of the coin that I think a lot of realtors miss the mark on, and they make us all look like idiots, is social media promotion and what they do on social media. And I said this before, where there's the Carly Rae Jepsen song.
You bring this one up all the time, especially.
Yeah, hey, I just met you, and I know this is crazy, but give me your phone, call me.
Not like a young girl in her 20s. It's like
27-year-old
Seth.
Yeah, it's like a 47-year-old guy who's obviously come from like his office, and his office manager's like, you have to be on social media. Get yourself on camera. But I'm like,
get yourself on camera in a way that's going to be authentic to who you are as a person.
And our real estate team has like a messaging thread through Instagram, and I'm always like funneling shit into this thread. I'm like, look at this fucking idiot. It's like, I have another one. There was a woman, she's, I think, in Canada, and she's all about getting her team involved. And they actually make fun of themselves because it's social media day. They got to get on social media. Like around holiday time, they're like jumping around with like antlers and going like this and everything. And I'm just like.
Now, I did make that one like 3-part TikTok series from the house that I went to go see on Indian Run.
Yeah.
And I actually do get a lot of people who say, oh my God, that video you did, we were like sitting in front of the window. It's like, that's fine, but it's not fine. And I'm like, you're right. Like, they got a lot of attention. But if I'm coming down to it, it was funny. And I'm so glad I did that. It was also a really cool house. And I had been showing it, and I just went back to do those little clips. But
we should put the link to that video in the show notes. But it's like you're attracting attention, but what kind of attention? And also, does
somebody trust me after watching the video, or does that build? I did it because I was there and I just made the showing extra long to stay back and do that and whatever, and that's fine. But you start, at least I do. I really want to know from other people who just are on their phones and not in the real estate world. If you see a reel or a TikTok come across of an agent and who's like doing this a lot, as just constantly putting up like these like funny, not like educational, but like these just like goofy trending TikToks and reels, would you want to work with them? And I'm not saying like you should or shouldn't. I'm just curious to know what the perception is to other people.
So I think it falls into this like a very old sales adage, like if you can make them laugh, you can make them buy. Meaning if you can entertain them, they're going to gravitate towards you if you're like super funny. And listen, I have been accused of being a little bit too serious, but like my brand is, and like my whole, like I'm goofy, I'm sarcastic as hell, but I love to be educational. I love to talk to people, and I love to give people like good information. That's my brand. I get it. But I think some people just take it way too far, where it's like you go through their whole Instagram feed or their TikTok feed. Yeah, you're entertaining them, but I don't know, man. This is going to be a hard decision for my husband and I. Like, I really want somebody I'd rather err on the caution of being professional than not being professional. And
I might be a boomer in thinking this, but TikToks and Reels take a lot of time. And again, this might be because this is like the millennials, the new boomers, as far as technology goes, I feel like. Yeah. But it's not super fast or easy. And if it is, and I'm missing something, let me know. I'd love to do it faster. But that takes up a big chunk of time. And I know that there's like marketing blocked into realtor schedules,
Which by the way, no realtors really think about when they get their license. They don't really understand that that's like a big part of what we do as well.
Yeah, is marketing. But I don't know, make it be something that's going to add value to what you're putting out, and I'm not going to find any value from just like seeing somebody get out of this big flashy car in front of a house and dramatically turn around.
Yeah, well, and that's another part of the marketing where it's like where it's all just like showing nothing but success, just listed, just sold, and now you're seeing a reversion where have you seen the thing where the guy's like setting up the camera and then he like runs behind the wall and then he comes out and it's all about like it's all about the success and the things you don't see behind the scenes, but he's gonna make it because he followed his dreams and like all this shit. And I'm like, that's better for me because at least they're making fun of themselves. But I look at it and you don't see a lawyer on there doing this. You don't see a doctor on this doing it, an accountant, financial planners, mortgage lenders. None of
I do see some mortgage lenders.
Some mortgage lenders, but they're threading a very tight needle because of their rules with their industry. But I don't want to hear realtors talk about how they're not taken seriously when realtors en masse are putting stupid shit on social media. It's things that are not professional. So if you're going to be worried about getting haggled to death about your commission, your compensation, and they're like, what did you really do for that commission? All that seeds are planted at the very beginning of, are you a professional? And I wish there was 50%, and I'm going against the brotherhood and the sisterhood here. I would love to see 50% of agents leave this business.
The other 50%, I love you. And
I love you. And dude, and there are so many great agents outside of Philadelphia area. I could rattle off 20 right now that I love and adore, but there are 1.53 million realtors in this country. We don't need more than 700,000.
Oh my God. And I was saying this on more of a grand scheme of things where we were talking about how many listings are coming up with just like an iPhone phone and a good one.
It's
and
so
just
bad.
Like, but the thing is, it's like, the more that happens and the more that people are like agents are putting out this terrible, like marketing the properties so average, is that going to be what's going to become acceptable? Because it shouldn't be.
No. And I think we're heading, and Brian Buffini is a guy he's one of these big real estate coaches, and he has been saying for 2 years, we are entering into a professionals market. And what that's code for is, because he's a coach, he can't really say it. A lot of people are going to get out of the business because you can put all the funny TikToks up that you want, but it's not going to attract like an enormous amount of clients. It might get you through, but I don't know about you. If I've got a big decision to make with real estate, I'm going to go with that person who knows what they're doing and can demonstrate it day in and day out through what they're talking about and giving me good advice instead of jumping around and like pointing to this. And it's just, Jesus Christ.
Like there's an algorithm and then things pick up on it. And I like,
but it's not, but here's the thing. What is the purpose of going viral as a real estate agent? Other than your own vanity. There's no business advantage to going viral at all.
You don't even think that just like the recognizability of a name or
one viral video, maybe two that you get? Nobody's going to remember that. You think a consumer. So if we go viral in Philly, by the way, we'd love to go viral. No.
I was going to say, I'm happy to go viral because we have something to actually say.
We have something to say, and I am willing to go viral with this because we're giving content to like a national audience here. This is all good advice. Check it with your local real estate commission. But we are giving good advice.
Laws are not always the same laws in other states.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Pennsylvania Association of Realtors.
No, but in the end, like we're giving good advice to people and we want to get the good word out. So going viral is great for us. And it would just be good for me. I don't know though if we go viral, if we're going to get... Is a guy in Memphis going to call us because it's, oh my God, like I love you. Like, can you find me a realtor? Yes, we can find you a realtor in Memphis. But as an independent realtor, you go viral. Yes, you'll get a quick boost, but is that going to mean that someone in 8-9 months is going to call you to be their real estate agent?
I don't know. That's why I'm curious to know how. I'm curious to know what actually happens after that because that's not the stuff that's showcased, and that's why I'm also curious to know just from like everybody.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. If I'm full of shit,
I see it from a real estate point of view, and just as like an in-industry kind of thing where it's cringy to me to see, but. Would you see that and be like, oh yeah, I would, if they were local, I'd want to work with them. I really just want to know.
Yeah.
Or if it's just like another thing you just swipe past and like, ugh.
If the usual sales adage, if you can make them laugh, make them buy, does it apply to that? If it's like, if they entertain you, do you now trust them to then handle your real estate transaction and the largest investment pretty much of your life.
I think there's a balance. There's this one. I'll have to find him. I forget what his name is. I know I follow him. He does lending and he is absolutely hilarious. He was like one of those first ones that put out the video of it was like buying a house in LA is I have an apple. Oh nope,
yeah,
sorry,
guy.
already gone. But he's also he's really educational too. Like I went through like a bunch of his videos and he was actually like he's putting out the good word of the real life side of lending where things are at, but he's also absolutely freaking hilarious.
Okay.
Like,
and listen,
that's great.
I'm okay with that because if it's a mix, I'm talking about the people that are just putting out the shit that people are not interested in, I don't believe are really super interested in seeing, which is just the constant.
I don't know. Does anybody want to
fanciness.
see Seth in a set of reindeer antlers doing?
Listen, if you send me leads, I'll do whatever you need. No, but I think your point's well taken though. We're on the inside of this business and we're just like, Jesus God. Also don't want realtors belly aching about why we're not taken seriously. And there's absolutely no policing on like marketing at all. And I just take this job so seriously that like I try to, and I just don't like just the jokiness about it. This is serious shit, and I've always treated it that way. Forget about now versus 2020, and since the minute I was licensed, I never took anything for granted. I was always very serious about this job, and I think that's why the market has always has rewarded me because I've built this big referral network, but. I don't want to hear any belly aching from agents who are jumping around their office with reindeer antlers and then they wonder why they can't find business. It's because
where are you
you're
investing your time?
But you're like jokey. People need serious solutions. They need serious people. And listen, we laugh a lot. And we become friends with everybody and we joke around and you and I give each other shit in front of clients and like all that. We have a great time. But in the end, like I look at all the other occupations that we think we are equal to, and none of them are doing what we're doing on social media. None of them. Some of them can't. Like financial planners really can't get on social media. I think that's bullshit. But
why?
It's part of the regulation from the Great Recession. They don't want people going out and giving.
And then
advice.
car salesmen kind of gave themselves a sleazy name.
I think the movies did really, honestly. So
I've also known somebody on the inside who say like, who will straight up tell me that, I ripped off that person because he gave me a bigger commission. Yeah. And I'm like, great. That's awesome.
No.
Meanwhile, we're bound to like realtors, not just like real estate agents without being a realtor or realtor. We're bound to a code of ethics that we actually have to follow. Now, some people violate here and there, but there is still something like that legally that we are held to be able to do our jobs ethically. That I think does keep us on track. That could get us out of the industry, keep us out of more trouble than I guess it like could be in, but talked about enough.
It's not talked about nearly enough, and it's very America specific. Code of ethics doesn't exist anywhere. This is the fairest place, guy. This is the fairest place to buy and sell a
America
piece of real
needs
estate.
a law to tell us, can you be ethical, please?
No, but listen, in terms of the United States, we're capitalistic, we're individualistic, free markets, whatever. It's actually great. We have this code of ethics that we need to abide by to be part of these associations. And it is a good thing. You go to Australia or you go to England or South Africa or Israel or whatever, this code of ethics doesn't exist. This all kind of came out of the Great Depression era. In the 30s, where it was like buyer beware, you couldn't people were getting screwed left and right. It was part of the real estate commission back then. I believe it was in the 30s, incepted the code of ethics in order to make it more fair for everyone involved. So
Seth knows everything about everything.
I know everything about everything, but hey.
Welcome. This is like what a call is after our like morning 8:30 calls from like 9 till 9:30. This is what it's like.
I was actually sitting with a guy yesterday, and he said he knew state capitals, and I was like, I know state capitals too. And
so my friend knows them.
We started testing each other back and forth or whatever, and then I've got some more advanced questions. Like do you know the 4 capital cities that end in city?
Please don't even.
Do you know the 4 capital cities? Anyone out there know the 4 capital cities?
I'm gonna embarrass myself. I could off camera. I can see if I could manage to make that up.
Let's do it now.
No.
Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Carson City.
I would not have gotten Carson City.
Yeah, Carson City's Nevada. Jefferson City, Missouri.
Okay.
Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So then I said, let's go international. So he took me over to Europe,
That's where I tapped out before this, but that's when I would really tap out.
Then we went to North Africa.
Geography
No,
was never my...
we literally went to North Africa. He asked me the capital of Morocco, and I knew it. And he's like, "You're so full of shit. You just made that up." And I literally pulled up my phone.
What is it?
It's Rabat. All right, guys, we're gonna go. We're gonna call this Seth's bitching session about realtors and social media.
But genuinely asking, I really want to know what you think, just as a person who's going through TikTok or Instagram. Would you actually see a realtor? What do you think when you see a realtor who's going around doing these trending reels and TikToks?
Jumping around and dancing.
Do you think anything? Would it make you think anything?
Yeah.
I really want to know,
Yeah,
like, as an outsider's
let's get your
point of view.
feedback. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good place to leave it. So catch you next week.
See ya.
Millennia, bye.